Believe it or not, I'm back with the wooden box. On to disc 4 we go. Disc 4, its case, nicely presented. Now I know what you guys want to see. You guys want to see the effects. So let's get into those. Again, 5 effects on this disc. Who knows, it might pick up from here. We'll see what happens. The first effect on the DVD is Dr. Fun by Paul Harris. This effect involves you accurately predicting in an impossible way one of the spectator's fondest memories, something very personal to them that you could not have possibly known you've predicted. Clever, clever, clever stuff. I really like Dr. Fun. It's not a worker. You're not going to want to do this table to table. It's more of an effect that you do just once in a while to make a big impression on a spectator you want to make a big impression on. So it's the method is very interesting, very cool, and everything looks very fair in appearance, and this is a pretty strong prediction effect. It involves you predicting something that there's no way you could have known beforehand. And for spectators, the effects that really hit home are the ones that connect with them on an extremely personal level, and that's about as personal as an effect can get. So Dr. Fun, 8 out of 10. Great start to the 4th disc. Number 2 would be Name Dropper by Paul Harris. This is another sort of personally themed effect in which you visually print a spectator's name across a small packet of cards. Cool. Well, actually, I'd say a good word to describe this one would be cute. It's not a stunner. Dr. Fun, that's an extremely powerful effect. I would say Name Dropper falls under more of the, that's cool, you printed my name. That sort of thing. That's the kind of reaction I can foresee this getting. And to me, it's just not really a stunner. It's, yeah, just a cute effect. That's about it. So it's nowhere near being as powerful and strong and meaningful as Dr. Fun, even though it does use a spectator's name. It somehow lacks the really personal factor. Alright, so Name Dropper I'd give a 6 out of 10. I wasn't too impressed with that. Luber's Lens. Do I ever love this? It's this is actually a re-release sort of thing of an old gimmick that was marketed by Paul Harris quite a few years back called the Reality Twister. And what you'd get with the Reality Twister is a special credit card-sized plastic lens that you could see through. And it provided some sort of optical illusion. So if the lens were oriented a certain way and you held an object like a pen or a straw underneath it, the center of the pen would become invisible because of this special optical illusion lens. It's an extremely cool effect. And the ending involves, well, this all happens in the spectator's hands. They watch you make the pen center vanish and then reappear. And then you twist it back and forth, twist the lens. So they see the pen twisting back and forth underneath the lens, and then when you slowly pull the lens away, they see now there's a big permanent twist right in the pen that wasn't there before. This is a great effect. Very strong, very powerful, very visual magic. It's a lot of fun to watch and a lot of fun to perform. This is, even if you don't perform this for anybody, you'll love just playing around with it. It's that cool. It provides one of the neatest little optical illusion effects I've ever seen. And the only drawback I can see is that this effect can only be performed for maybe 2 people maximum. And they have to be looking directly down through the lens. If they're looking under the lens or off to the side of the lens, they'll see something they shouldn't be seeing. And that's not good. So it's more of a one-on-one effect, but it's a really strong one-on-one effect. I've been using it a lot. I carry it with me quite a bit. And it's, yeah, definitely something to look into. So Luber's Lens, 9 out of 10. Great. Next up, Naked Strange. Now this is, I suppose it's an impromptu version of an effect that Paul Harris marketed with David Blaine a few years ago called Strange Travelers, which is, I believe, David Blaine's solution to the thought of card across plot. And this provides an impromptu version that pretty much produces the exact same effect with a few tiny differences. Now, Naked Strange can be done with a borrowed shuffle deck. It's completely impromptu, and the card really does vanish from one packet and reappear in the other, as in the value of the cards in a certain packet diminishes by 1 when the card vanishes. So this is very clever, and this is a real worker. I've been using Naked Strange quite a bit, actually, and it's very strong effect. People love it. I mean, just the fact of a thought of card. that provides an extreme, like, just an inherently strong effect. So it's very cool. The method's very clever. It's very easy to do, and I can see this going into a lot of workers' repertoires. It's a very cool effect to do. So I give Naked Strange an 8 out of 10. And the last one would be Stapled Warp by Andrew Gerard. Now this is a version of Card Warp, but oddly it provides nothing particularly new method-wise. Nothing new is given for the method. However, Andrew Gerard is showing a lot of different subtleties and added bits that can be added to a card warp that maybe perhaps make it stronger. I haven't tried this yet personally, so I don't know for sure, but it involves you stapling both cards shut at the edges, so there's no way you could fold and unfold or do anything sneaky of that nature. So everything is essentially pinned down, so what happens in card warp is even more impossible. I can see this playing well. It's a good. I can see this being a good next phase to card warp. However, the fact that you need a stapler to do this, I don't feel is very good. I personally don't do card warp, and I sure as heck wouldn't want to add a stapler into it. So if it's your kind of thing, you'll like it, but I personally, I will never use it. So he's provided some interesting touches, but I give it a 6 out of 10. Okay, so recap. Dr. Fun, I gave an 8 out of 10. Name Dropper, a 6 out of 10. Luber's Lens, 9 out of 10. Naked Strange, 8 out of 10. Stapled Warp, 6 out of 10. Woohoo! We're finally getting into the good territory. This disc is where it really started to hit home for me. Actually, this is where I started to finally have faith in the set, and I really think this is a great disc. It's got some good stuff on it. Lots of fun. So that would be my review of Disc 4. Stay tuned for Disc 5 coming soon. Thanks for watching, guys.